The diner's neon sign flickered, casting a red glow over the cracked pavement outside. Inside, Amara's heart pounded as she reached for Lily's hand, their fingers brushing under the table. She wasn't ready for what was coming, but she'd fight for this love, because nothing else had ever felt so real. Amara's laugh echoed softly in the near-empty diner, a sound that made Lily's chest ache with warmth. They'd been meeting here, at Rosie's Diner in the small town of Willow Creek, Virginia, for 3 months now. It was their sanctuary, a place where the world's judgment couldn't touch them. Amara, 25, with her deep brown eyes and curls that framed her face like a halo, had a way of making Lily feel like she could face anything. Lily, also 25, with her sharp green eyes and a stubborn streak, had spent her life trying to prove she was more than the daughter of a bigoted mother. Tonight, though, was different. Tonight, they were stepping out of the shadows. "You sure about this?" Amara asked, her voice low, her thumb tracing circles on Lily's palm. "Your mom, she's not exactly the welcoming type." Her smile was teasing, but her eyes held a flicker of worry. Lily squeezed her hand. "I'm done hiding you. You're not some secret I'm ashamed of." Her voice trembled with conviction, but her stomach twisted. She'd grown up hearing her mother, Diane, spew venom about anyone who didn't fit her narrow view of right. Black, queer, or both, it didn't matter. Diane's world was a fortress of prejudice, and Lily had spent years chipping away at its walls. The bell above the diner's door jingled, and Lily's heart lurched. Diane strode in, her perfectly pressed blouse and pinched expression a stark contrast to the diner's faded charm. At 50, Diane carried herself like she owned a room, her blonde hair pulled into a tight bun. She spotted Lily and Amara instantly, her lips curling into a sneer. "Well, isn't this cozy?" Diane said, her voice dripping with disdain as she approached their table. "Lily, I thought you were meeting a friend. Not this." Her eyes raked over Amara, lingering on her dark skin, as if it were an offense. Amara stiffened but kept her chin high. "Mrs. Harper, I'm Amara. It's nice to finally meet you." Her tone was polite, but her eyes burned with defiance. Diane ignored her, turning to Lily. "You're embarrassing yourself. And me. This stops now." Lily's face flushed, but she stood, her chair scraping against the floor. "No, Mom. You don't get to dictate who I love. Amara's not going anywhere." The diner fell silent, the few patrons glancing over. Diane's eyes narrowed, and for a moment, Lily thought she'd walk away. But then Diane grabbed a gravy boat from a nearby table, her movements swift and deliberate. Before anyone could react, she dumped the thick, brown liquid over Amara's head, splattering her red sweater. Gasps filled the air. Amara froze, gravy dripping down her face, her expression a mix of shock and fury. Lily lunged forward, her voice breaking. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Diane smirked, tossing the gravy boat onto the table. "Maybe now you'll see her for what she is, trash." Amara wiped her face with a napkin, her hands shaking but her voice steady. "You don't know me, lady. And you don't scare me." Lily grabbed Amara's arm, pulling her toward the door. "We're done here." But as they stepped outside, Lily's mind raced. This wasn't just about her mother's cruelty. It was about proving they could survive it. She glanced at Amara, whose jaw was set, and felt a surge of love so fierce it drowned out her fear. They drove to Lily's grandmother's house, the only place Lily could think to go. Grandma Ruth, 78, was the opposite of Diane, kind, open-hearted, and fiercely protective. Her small farmhouse, nestled at the edge of town, smelled of lavender and old books. Ruth opened the door, her silver hair glowing under the porch light, and took one look at Amara's stained sweater. "Oh, honey," Ruth said, pulling Amara into a hug. "Come in. Let's get you cleaned up." As Amara disappeared into the bathroom, Ruth turned to Lily, her eyes sharp. "Your mother did this, didn't she?" Lily nodded, tears stinging her eyes. "I'm so sorry, Grandma. I didn't think she'd go this far. Ruth's face softened, but her voice was firm. You don't apologize for her. You fight for what's right. And that girl in there? She's worth fighting for. Amara returned, now in one of Ruth's oversized sweaters, her curls damp, but her spirit unbroken. They sat around Ruth's kitchen table, sipping tea, as Ruth listened to their story. She didn't flinch at the word girlfriend or Amara's skin color. Instead, she reached for Amara's hand. You're family now, Ruth said simply. And family sticks together. Lily felt a weight lift, but the battle was far from over. Diane wouldn't stop, and Willow Creek was a small town with big prejudices. But as she looked at Amara, her heart steadied. They'd face it together, because love, real love, was worth every fight. The morning sun filtered through Ruth's lace curtains, casting delicate patterns on the kitchen table where Amara and Lily sat. Amara stirred her coffee, her fingers still gripping the mug a little too tightly. Last night's humiliation lingered, but Ruth's warmth had dulled its edge. You two sleep okay? Ruth asked, setting a plate of pancakes down. Her eyes twinkled with a mischief that belied her age. Barely, Lily admitted, glancing at Amara. I keep replaying it. How could she do that? Amara reached for her hand. She's not you, Lily. Don't carry her hate. Ruth nodded, slicing a pancake with precision. Diane's always been a storm looking for a target. But you two? You're the calm after it. Lily wanted to believe her, but the diner incident had spread like wildfire through Willow Creek. By noon, whispers followed them at the grocery store. A woman in the produce aisle stared at Amara, muttering something about outsiders. Lily's fists clenched, but Amara's gentle touch stopped her from snapping. Let it go, Amara whispered. They don't matter. But it did matter. Lily knew the town's gossip would reach Diane, fueling her rage. When they returned to Ruth's, a note was taped to the door. You're not welcome here. Leave. No signature, but Lily recognized her mother's sharp handwriting. She's not stopping, Lily said, crumpling the note. Her voice shook with anger and fear. What if she does something worse? Ruth, overhearing, snorted. Let her try. I've got a shotgun and a lawyer. She doesn't scare me. Amara laughed, breaking the tension. I like you, Ruth. That evening, Lily and Amara walked to the town's park, needing air. The swing set creaked under their weight as they sat side by side, the sky turning pink above them. Amara's voice was soft. I've dealt with people like your mom before. Growing up black in a place like this, you learn to keep your head high. Lily turned to her, eyes fierce. You shouldn't have to. I hate that you do. Amara leaned in, kissing her gently. You're worth it. This is worth it. Their moment was shattered by the screech of tires. Diane's car pulled up, and she stormed out, her face red. You think you can parade this sin around my town? She shouted, drawing stares from passers-by. Lily stood, shielding Amara. It's not your town, Mom. And it's not a sin. It's love. Diane laughed, a cold, bitter sound. Love? You're throwing your life away for her. Amara stepped forward, her voice steady. You don't get to define us. We're not your pawns. Diane's eyes flashed, but before she could speak, a police car rolled up. An officer, a middle-aged man with tired eyes, stepped out. Mrs. Harper, we got a call about a disturbance. You need to leave. Diane scoffed but backed off, her glare promising more trouble. As she drove away, Lily's knees buckled. Amara caught her, holding her close. We're okay, she whispered. We're okay. Back at Ruth's, they found her on the phone, her voice sharp. Yes, Sheriff, I want a restraining order. My daughter's lost her damn mind. Lily's eyes widened. Grandma, you didn't. Ruth hung up, smirking. I did. And I called the local paper. Let's see how Diane likes her name in print for this. Amara grinned, but Lily saw the strain in her eyes. This wasn't just about Diane anymore. The town was watching, judging. Lily vowed to protect Amara, no matter the cost. But as they curled up on Ruth's couch that night, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that the worst was yet to come. The next morning, Willow Creek buzzed with gossip. The local paper had run a story about the diner incident, though it was carefully worded to avoid libel. Local woman causes scene at Rosie's diner. The headline read. Diane's name wasn't mentioned, but everyone knew. Lily's phone buzzed with texts, some supportive, others cruel. She ignored them, focusing on Amara, who was helping Ruth plant tulips in the garden. You don't have to do this, Lily said, watching Amara dig into the soil. You're not obligated to win her over. Amara wiped sweat from her brow, smiling. I like Ruth. And I like dirt. Keeps me grounded. Ruth chuckled, tossing Amara a gardening glove. You're good for this family, kid. Lily's heart swelled, but the moment was fleeting. By afternoon, Diane had retaliated. A crowd gathered outside Ruth's house, holding signs, Keep Willow Creek pure. Lily's stomach dropped. This wasn't just her mother's doing, it was the town's underbelly, emboldened by Diane's hate. Amara peered through the curtains, her face tight. They don't scare me, she said, but her voice wavered. Ruth grabbed her shotgun from the closet, not to use it but to make a point. Let's see how brave they are now. Lily called the sheriff, who dispersed the crowd, but the damage was done. The town felt like a minefield. That evening, Amara and Lily sat on Ruth's porch, the air heavy with unspoken fears. Maybe we should leave, Amara said quietly. Start over somewhere else. Lily's chest tightened. Run? From her?
No.
This is our home too. Amara's eyes softened. I don't want to lose you to this fight. You won't, Lily said, pulling her close. We're stronger than her hate. The next day, Ruth had a plan. We're hosting a barbecue, she announced. Invite the whole damn town. Let them see who you are. Lily hesitated. What if it backfires? Then we'll deal with it, Ruth said. Hiding gives Diane power. Showing up takes it away. The barbecue was set for Saturday. Amara and Lily spent days preparing, their nerves fraying but their resolve growing. When the day arrived, Ruth's backyard was filled with tables, string lights, and the smell of grilled corn. Some townsfolk came, curious, skeptical, or genuinely kind. Others stayed away, loyal to Diane's crusade. Amara worked the grill, her confidence a quiet rebellion. Lily watched her, marveling at her strength. A few neighbors approached, offering cautious smiles. One, an older man named Tom, shook Amara's hand. You make a mean burger, he said. Don't let the loudmouths run you off. But Diane arrived, uninvited, her presence like a storm cloud. She cornered Lily near the dessert table. You're ruining our family's name, she hissed. End this now. Lily's voice was steady. The only one ruining anything is you. Diane's face twisted, but before she could respond, Ruth stepped in, her voice booming. Diane, you're embarrassing yourself. Leave my property. The crowd watched, tension thick. Diane stormed off, but not before spitting. This isn't over. As the barbecue wound down, Amara pulled Lily aside, her eyes bright. We did it. We showed up. Lily kissed her, the world fading away. They'd won a battle, but the war was far from over. Still, with Ruth by their side and their love as their shield, they felt unstoppable. The barbecue had shifted something in Willow Creek. Whispers turned to conversations, and a few neighbors began greeting Amara and Lily in public. But Diane's silence was ominous. Lily knew her mother too well. She wasn't retreating. She was plotting. One evening, Amara got a call from her boss at the local library, where she worked as a librarian. We've had complaints, he said, his tone apologetic. Some patrons don't want you at the front desk. Amara's face fell, but she nodded. I'll handle it. Lily was furious. This is her doing. She's trying to push you out. Amara sighed, rubbing her temples. I can't prove it, but I'm not quitting. Ruth overheard, her eyes narrowing. We need to hit back. Hard. Their chance came when Amara discovered an old town ordinance that required public officials to disclose conflicts of interest. Diane, a member of the town council, had been funneling funds to a friend's business, a friend who led the Keep Willow Creek Pure group. Amara brought the evidence to Ruth, who knew exactly what to do. "I've got a friend at the county paper," Ruth said, grinning. "Let's make some noise." The article dropped a week later, exposing Diane's shady dealings. The town erupted. Diane's allies scrambled to defend her, but the evidence was damning. At a town hall meeting, Lily and Amara sat in the front row, holding hands. Diane took the stage, her face pale but defiant. "This is a witch hunt," Diane said, her voice shaking. "My family's being targeted by radicals." Lily stood, her voice cutting through the room.
"No, Mom."
"You're being held accountable. For once." The crowd murmured, some nodding. Diane's composure cracked, and she stormed out. Later, at Ruth's, Amara and Lily celebrated quietly. "She's losing her grip," Amara said, hope in her eyes. But the victory was short-lived. That night, someone threw a brick through Ruth's window, a note tied to it. "Leave or else." Lily's blood ran cold. Amara's hand found hers, steadying her. "We can't let them win," Amara said. "Not now." Ruth, unfazed, swept up the glass. "I've seen worse. We keep going." The next day, Lily and Amara organized a community meeting at the library, inviting anyone willing to listen. They shared their story, their love, their struggles, their hope. To their surprise, dozens showed up, including Tom from the barbecue. "You've got guts," he said. "I'm with you." As the meeting ended, Lily felt a spark of hope. They were building something, a community that could stand against hate. But Diane's shadow loomed, and Lily knew her mother wouldn't go down without a fight. The community meeting marked a turning point. Willow Creek began to split, those who clung to old prejudices and those who saw Amara and Lily as a beacon of change. But Diane was relentless. She rallied her supporters, spreading lies about Amara's agenda to ruin the town. One afternoon, Lily found Amara staring at her phone, her face ashen. "What's wrong?" Lily asked, dread pooling in her stomach. Amara showed her a social media post from an anonymous account, filled with vile slurs and a photo of them at the library meeting. "They're targeting us," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Lily's anger boiled over. "This stops now." She grabbed her keys, ready to confront Diane, but Amara stopped her. "We can't fight hate with hate," Amara said. "We need to be smarter." Ruth agreed, suggesting they turn the narrative around. "Let's show the town who you really are. A video, maybe. Tell your story." They spent days filming a short video, sharing their love story, how they met at a book club, their first date at Rosie's, their dreams for a future together. Amara's warmth and Lily's fire shone through. They posted it online, and it spread like wildfire. Messages of support poured in, some from strangers across the country. But Diane countered with a vicious op-ed in the local paper, calling their relationship unnatural and accusing Amara of manipulating Lily. The words cut deep, but Amara refused to break. "She's scared," Amara said. "She's losing control." Lily nodded, but her heart ached. She'd hoped, foolishly, that her mother might change. Now, she saw Diane for what she was, a woman consumed by fear and hate. Ruth had another idea. "Let's host a town festival. Music, food, art. Show them love builds community, not tears it apart." The festival took weeks to plan, but it was worth it. On the day, Willow Creek's park was alive with color, booths selling local crafts, a stage with live music, and kids running through sprinklers. Amara and Lily walked hand in hand, their presence a quiet defiance. Diane showed up, her face a mask of fury, but the crowd's warmth drowned her out. As the sun set, Amara took the stage, her voice clear. "Love isn't a threat. It's a gift, and we're here to share it." The applause was deafening. Lily joined her, tears in her eyes. For the first time, they felt the town might be theirs too. But Diane's absence from the stage didn't mean surrender. Lily knew her mother was planning something bigger. The festival's success emboldened Lily and Amara, but it also lit a fuse. Diane's allies grew louder, their protests more aggressive. One night, Lily woke to the sound of shattering glass. Someone had spray-painted slurs across Ruth's front porch. Amara cleaned the paint in silence, her jaw tight. Lily wanted to scream, to fight, but Amara's calm grounded her. "They want us to break," Amara said. "We won't." Ruth called the sheriff, who promised to investigate, but Lily saw the doubt in his eyes. The town was divided, and not everyone wanted justice. Still, support grew. Tom and others from the festival started a neighborhood watch, vowing to protect Ruth's home. Lily and Amara leaned on each other, their love a lifeline. One evening, they drove to a nearby lake, needing escape. Under the stars, Amara traced Lily's cheek. "I'd go through it all again for you," she said. Lily's throat tightened. "I don't deserve you." "You do," Amara said, kissing her softly. "We deserve each other." Back in town, Diane's next move hit hard. She filed a lawsuit against the library, claiming Amara's presence was disruptive. The board, under pressure, suspended Amara pending a hearing. Lily was livid, but Amara stayed calm. "I'll fight this," she said. "I've got a good case." Ruth hired a lawyer, a sharp woman named Clara who specialized in discrimination cases. Clara dug into Diane's history, uncovering a pattern of abuse, complaints from former employees, neighbors, even family. "She's a bully," Clara said. "And bullies fall when you shine a light on them." The hearing was set for a month later. In the meantime, Lily and Amara kept pushing forward. They volunteered at the library, reading to kids and hosting book drives. Their presence drew crowds, some hostile, but many supportive. A young girl, maybe 10, approached Amara one day. "You're brave," she said. "I want to be like you." Amara knelt, smiling. "You already are." Lily watched, her heart full. But the night before the hearing, Diane cornered them outside the library. "You think you've won?" she spat. "I'll ruin you both." Lily stepped forward, her voice steady. "You're done controlling me. We're not afraid of you." Diane's eyes burned, but she backed off, her silence more unsettling than her words. As the hearing loomed, Lily felt a mix of dread and hope. They were close to breaking Diane's hold, but the cost was mounting. The library hearing was packed, the air thick with tension. Amara sat at the front, her posture straight, her eyes calm. Lily gripped her hand under the table, her heart racing. Clara presented their case with precision, detailing Diane's campaign of harassment and the library's unfair suspension. Diane's lawyer argued that Amara's controversial presence harmed the library's reputation. The claim was flimsy, but the board seemed torn. Then Clara called a surprise witness, Tom, the neighbor from the barbecue. He spoke of Amara's kindness, her work with kids, and the town's growing support. "She's an asset," he said. "The only disruption here is Mrs. Harper's hate." The room buzzed. Diane's face reddened, but she stayed silent. When Amara took the stand, her voice was steady. "I love this town. I love my job. I won't let fear take that from me." The board deliberated for hours. Finally, they ruled in Amara's favor, reinstating her with an apology. The crowd cheered, but Diane slipped out, her expression unreadable. Outside, Lily pulled Amara into a hug. "You did it." "We did it," Amara corrected, smiling. But the victory was bittersweet. Diane's absence felt like a storm gathering strength. Ruth invited them to stay at her house, sensing trouble. That night, they found a letter in Ruth's mailbox. No return address, but Diane's handwriting was unmistakable. "You'll regret this," it read. Lily's blood ran cold, but Ruth was unfazed. "She's desperate," she said. "Desperate people make mistakes." Clara suggested they go public with the letter, but Amara hesitated. I don't want to escalate this further. Lily disagreed. She won't stop unless we make her. They compromised, giving a letter to the sheriff and preparing for the worst. Days passed without incident, but the tension was unbearable. Then, one evening, Diane appeared at Ruth's door, her face haggard. I want to talk, she said. Lily hesitated, but Amara nodded. Let her in. Diane sat stiffly, avoiding their eyes. I don't approve, she said, but I'm tired of fighting. Lily's hope flickered, but Amara's gaze was wary. What do you want, Mrs. Harper? Diane's voice was low. A truce. For Lily's sake. It felt too easy, but Lily wanted to believe her. As Diane left, Ruth whispered, Keep your guard up. Lily nodded, but her heart ached for a mother who might never change. With the hearing won, she and Amara focused on rebuilding, planning a future where love, not hate, defined them. The truce was fragile, like a cracked glass waiting to shatter. Diane kept her distance, but her presence lingered in the town's whispers and sideways glances. Lily and Amara threw themselves into their lives. Amara back at the library, Lily teaching art classes at the community center. They were building something real, something lasting, but the scars of the past year ran deep. One crisp autumn evening, they sat on Ruth's porch, wrapped in a blanket, watching the stars. Do you think she'll ever change? Lily asked, her voice barely audible. Amara sighed, leaning into her. Some people don't, but we don't need her to. We have each other. Ruth joined them, her eyes bright. And you've got me. Don't forget that. The moment was perfect, but perfection never lasts. The next day, Diane called a town council meeting, claiming it was about community values. Lily and Amara attended, braced for a fight. Diane took the stage, her voice calm but calculated. I've reflected, she said. I want unity, but we must respect tradition. Lily's stomach twisted. It was a performance, a way to regain control. But then Ruth stood, her voice cutting through the room. Tradition doesn't mean hate. My granddaughter and Amara are this town's future. You either stand with love or you stand alone. The crowd was silent, then erupted in applause. Diane's face fell, her allies shifting uncomfortably. For the first time, she looked small, her power slipping away. After the meeting, Diane approached Lily outside. I'm trying, she said, her voice breaking. I don't understand you, but I'm trying. Lily searched her mother's eyes, seeing a flicker of something, regret, maybe. Then keep trying, she said. But don't expect me to beg for it. Diane nodded, walking away. It wasn't reconciliation, but it was a start. Months later, Amara and Lily moved into a small house of their own, a fixer-upper near Ruth's. They painted the walls bright colors, planted a garden, and filled the space with laughter. Ruth visited often, her shotgun replaced by stories and homemade pies. The town wasn't perfect, some wounds never fully heal, but it was changing. People waved, smiled, invited them to dinners. Love was winning one heart at a time. At their housewarming, Ruth raised a glass. To Amara and Lily, she said, for showing us what courage looks like. Amara squeezed Lily's hand, her eyes shining. To us, she whispered. Lily smiled, her heart full. They'd faced hate, fear, and a mother's cruelty, but they'd come through stronger. Their love wasn't just a rebellion, it was a revolution, one that would echo in Willow Creek for years to come.